on your body. I wanna rub my body on your body. I wanna rub and love up. I wanna rub and kiss up. I wanna rub and jam up. I wanna rub and rub up. I wanna rub my body on your body. Rub my body on your body. Let me rub my body. I just get paid. I want to play. The vibes is right. I wanna hug up tight. No time to waste. I wanna work my ways. So come on up, babes. Give me a taste. I wanna rub my body on your body. I wanna rub my body on your body. Let me rub my body on your body. I wanna rub my body on your body. I wanna rub and love up. I wanna rub and kiss up. I wanna rub and jam up. I wanna rub and rub up. I wanna rub my body on your body. I wanna rub my body on your body. Let me rub my body on your body. I wanna rub my body on your body. Well, no. I'm feeling.
If you are looking to have your statutory declaration, affidavit of income, identity, damage or lost passport, lost license, tenancy agreement, agreement of settlement, power of attorney, last will and testament, and certification of documents, then you need to visit the Alistair Collins firm, located at the Kellyan Mall, 162 Lamaha Street in Georgetown, between Camp and Waterloo Street. Alistair Collins is a commissioner of oaths and a justice of the peace. Make certain you visit him or call for more information at 649-6410 or 685-6448 or 503-1451. And there's adequate parking available. Go down to the Alistair Collins firm and have all of your legal issues settled and brought to the fore. Alistair Collins Firm. Contact them at Alistair Collins Firm.
Making the short video for send to you and the viewers and listeners. I'll know we punishing in Guyana. Punishing. Rice gone up, sugar gone up, flour gone up, cost of living just gone up, gas gone up from 3,400 to 3,800. Real hungry days under this installed PPP government. Real hungry days we gone back to.
Guys, guess what?
This is why you don't come Leroy party. Gravely right. Yeah, we bad. We need COVID-19 bus. Hold on.
I see you put up. I see you put up the man for your slide.
You get that for you get that for 200, you get a special for 300 uncle. You can get that food. If you want, if you not take a taste good, you get that food, you can taste some bite too. We get nice dark food, kind of chip. All the woman was a man is dark. You could come and get a dark food for your husband. Everybody get a choice. We know deprive nobody. Uncle, you get a dark food, chip, sell out right away. They got a dark food, 200, 300 to the special. You don't get no dark food today? Dark food, see from all, I buy two for 360. You're not buying still. Oh, cost. Everybody come and get a dark food, buy me out, let me shut my mouth now. Excuse me, come buy me out, let me shut I got a dark food for dark food for cat. If you get a rat, I get dark food for rat too. If you hungry, you can come and taste and buy dark food proper, get dark food with chicken food, dark food with beef.
What kind of dog you gonna feed this food?
There's dog, we got the bigger food for all them dog. Man, dog.
I don't have anything at all to communicate with him about. I don't want him to tell me morning. I'm not telling him morning. Not only not talking to him, not answering the phone. I'm telling you, that is how I feel today. On the 11th of August, 6 days.
Right across Ghana, when the ministers of Granger or Nagamutu come here after the 21st of March, you say to them, walk behind them, chase them out, they're going to be illegal. Say to them, you're illegal. Free up the country, you're undemocratic. They're going to face a different situation right across the country.
When they come to the communities, whether it is in Berbice or Essecubo in Linden or in South Georgetown or Agricola or in Ennore or Port Morant, the people of Guyana should treat them as illegal. I said they
People understand Guyana rise. What you really oil when you lock tree. No more people beat around the country. No people know. Let us start for a PPP in a garbage bag. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hi.
Is the State Department currently preparing to engage with the Biden transition team? And if not, at what point does a delay hamper a smooth transition or pose a risk to national security?
There will be a smooth transition to a second Trump administration. All right, we're ready. The world is watching what's taking place here. We're going to count all the votes. When the process is complete, there'll be electors selected. There's a process. The Constitution lays it out pretty clearly. The world should have every confidence that the transition necessary to make sure that the State Department is functional today, successful today, and successful with the president who's in office on January 20th, a minute afternoon, will also be successful. I went. Hi.
Is the State Department currently preparing to engage with the Biden transition team? And if not, at what point does a delay hamper a smooth transition or pose a risk to national security?
There will be a smooth transition to a second Trump administration.
And it restated for us our purpose here, that we must treat every child as though they have an illiterate parent. And it restated for us our purpose here, that we must treat every child as though they have an illiterate parent.
You thought I was going to give you guys another one, right? Well, just about right. We have had that donkey sitting down there. And when I say we've had that donkey sitting down there, you know which donkey, because there's so many that we can talk about ever since August 2nd, 2020. Lots and lots of donkeys, you know what I mean? But we've got to utilize the one that we have specifically for that purpose, to remind you of who those individuals are who are currently running Guyana again. And then for the 23 years since they've been in there, right, you can't see anything positive or a heck of a lot of positive things that they have done during those 23 years. Lots of bad things, lots and lots of bad things. We know of those bad things, lots of them. So don't worry with the 1 year since they have been installed, that they are pomposetting themselves, as the guys then would say, right? Pomposetting, in other words, they are showing off. They are pretending to be Democrats. And you know what I mean by Democrats, pretending to believe in democracy when in fact they just don't at all. All right. I don't want somebody to say, where the heck is my manners? But good evening to all of you. It's Friday. It's 12 minutes after 9 o'clock. I almost didn't make it. Running out of a minibus this evening, right? Because, I'm not one of those who jump into an SUV or whatever these days. I have to jump in a minibus. And so I'm a bit late this evening. My apologies, but thanks to our operator, Lemon, who was able to ensure that those 12 minutes were well spent. All right, thank you so much for sharing this this live. I almost come on looking as casual as possible, but I just didn't want to disappoint any of you. We know this is also a television format, also, even though it is radio on the ground. Speaking of radio on the ground, let me say good evening to all the folks. All the folks. I'm told that a lot of taxi drivers do. In the nights, they tune in, they listen, they want to hear the other side of the coin. And usually the other side of the coin is the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. We don't mince things around here. We tell it like it is. Hence the reason, straight up. Good. So now that we have gotten that out of the way, what's bothering you this evening? Somebody mentioned to me that maybe we should start taking calls. Maybe we should do this. We have a lot of suggestions. I just want you guys to know that I accept, I understand, and I respect your suggestions. Very soon, right here on 107.1 FM, we want to be able to meet the children, the folks on the ground, which is what we do every night and every day on 107.1 FM. So we want to start a reading competition and all these different things, and a writing competition right here on 107.1 FM for the kids. And the winners are not going to get, we expect to have a heck of a lot of winners. One thing I want to say to you guys, you wouldn't be having those winners. We will not be giving these folks fried chicken, because we have respect for young people, respect for people in general. And we do believe, we here at Benschop Radio 107.1 FM, we believe in respecting citizens, regardless of their ethnicity or their religious background or whatever. We do that. And so very soon we have that program that will be starting, targeting our young people in a very positive way. So the winners are going to get, what are we going to give them? Maybe we'll give them a laptop. Maybe we'll give them a bicycle to move around. Maybe we'll give them a tablet. Maybe we'll do just that. And so I just want to give you guys that little tip that we, especially for all you parents, get your kids prepared. Speaking of kids, young people, the children of our beautiful country, on Monday, they're supposed to restart school. I don't know how that is going to happen, because the regime has no plan, none whatsoever. Priya Manik-Chan and the PPP regime have no plan, absolutely no plans at all. And so I don't know how they are going to be reopening schools on Monday. And they are going to reopen schools on Monday, and they have no plans. Teachers all across the country have been sending photographs of their small classrooms that are expected to be packed, jam-packed, crowded, all these different things. It is going to happen. And the regime, they have absolutely no shame. They're not concerned about our young people. One teacher out there somewhere on the quarantine said that they have a big classroom, and guess what? They have one cake of soap. Maybe it's a blue soap or whatever. One cake of soap for a classroom, right? One small bottle of, what do you call it? One small bottle of sanitizer, hand sanitizer. Tell me something. How the heck they're going to manage that? What will they be doing? I don't know at all. Hey, let me say good evening to my friend Sharma Solomon, all the way from region number 10. We should have Sharma sometime soon on this show, you know. We want to hear from Sharma Solomon. Sometime soon we should have him right here on 107.1 FM. Now, I'm not certain if he's ready, if our producer can get Sharma Solomon. Maybe we can hear a thing or two from him about this reopening of schools. Look, I don't want to say that I'm upset. I just don't want to say that I'm upset. But I'll tell you guys this, though. It is putting our school children at risk. That is what the PPP is doing, putting our school children at risk. They are not ready to return to school on Monday. It is just going to be so problematic and disastrous for our children, the parents, and also the teachers. Crowded, cramped, packed as we see throughout Guyana. It is not going to work. It is as though the PPP regime is deliberately sending those young people and the teachers and the staff members of those schools to the slaughterhouses. That is what it appears, because they have no plans. Now look, tell me this. A spray, one spray, a small can of spray for one classroom, and that has to last until December. One term. One cake of soap. Maybe it's a blue soap or whatever, for one term. And this is how it works. One child washes his or her hands, then another one comes, then another one comes, then the teacher does the same, then the janitor does the same with that one cake of soap. I don't know what's going to happen. What else do you have here? One pack of wipes. You know those little wipes? One pack of wipes. It has to last them throughout the term. What else? 2 tissues. 2 tissues. And once they run out of, guess what? Once they run out of those things, the teachers are going to be on the streets begging. The teachers will become beggars. This is no mockery of the teachers. You know why the teachers become beggars? Because the regime doesn't care about the teachers. They do not care about the schools. They do not care about the students. $25 billion for that ministry alone, the Ministry of Education. $25 billion. But yet they don't give a damn about schools. They don't give a damn about teachers. Find out where a lot of that money going. They get their friends and cronies and family who now just set up what is called security firms. They have no experience, they have nothing, but they jump to set up security firms. And they're going to get a contract for Ministry of Education where hundreds of millions of dollars will be going into the hands of cronies and their friends. That is what they're doing. That is how they're running the Ministry of Education. That is where 25 billion of your tax dollars are being wasted. It's being wasted right there. But the school, they want the schools to be reopened. No sanitizer, no face mask, other than all these things they've ordered from their friends and cronies, spent millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. And now guess what? The little mask that they have is just somebody just made a couple of masks and they're supplying the schools and so forth. Now, you know, entrepreneur, good business, yes. I'm not knocking those entrepreneurs, but those masks, let us see the quality. You'd want to see the quality of those masks. The kids will be supplied if they get one. They're not going to. Majority of the class they're not going to receive masks. And not a burden onto the parents. I don't know what's happening in that country, but I'll tell you what though, I know what is happening. The PPP is in shambles. The entire installed regime is in shambles. A no good regime in shambles. Everybody is complaining about them. Every single one, including their good friend. I was just about to call her name, but you guys know her name, Sarah Ann Lynch. She seems to be upset with them too, because a lot of legitimate businesses in the U.S. cannot get things done properly in Guyana. You know why? The main thing, and Ambassador Sarah Ann Lynch didn't mention, and of course she's not going to mention that, but I'll mention it to you. The main thing with these businesses, these American businesses who want to do business in Guyana, apart from the red tape, there is corruption. They are being told point blank that they have to grease the hands of officials in Guyana. That is what they have to do. Grease the hands of officials in Guyana, and then those corrupt officials under the installed regime are going to recommend where they should rent, whose properties they should rent, whose cars they should buy, and all these different things. That is what's happening in that beautiful country. It is in shambles. I repeat, Guyana is in shambles. The PPP is in shambles. I'll get to the opposition shortly. I'll get to them shortly. I'm not going to spare them tonight. No, I'm not. As much as some of them running up their mouth, I'm not going to spare the goddamn opposition tonight at all. I'm in that mood. I'm in that mood. So call some of them up and tell them that Benschop is about to talk their name right here on 107.1 FM. I will talk their name right here tonight. But getting back to the PPP, getting back to those trench crappos, as we oftentimes say, in the PPP, they're in shambles. It's a disgrace what is happening there. Just take a look around and see who are heads of agencies, ministers, and all these things. Take a look around. You ain't see problems yet. You guys didn't hear problems yet. And when they want to distract from the real problems, economical problems and so forth, the political problems, they're going to get some drive-by shootings and all these different things. We haven't heard any major cocaine busters yet, but maybe one is just around the corner. I don't want to say that I'm like a Bach who speaks or whatever, because I don't believe in Bacchus and those things. But all these distractions we're going to see, we're going to hear, because I repeat, the PPP is in shambles. The PPP has a serious leadership crisis. Do not be fooled by their appearances. They're fighting behind the scenes. I don't know if they started coughing out each other yet or pulling guns on each other or whatever. They have serious problems behind the scenes. Some of them don't talk to each other. You think it's Congress? Please leave Congress, please, shortly, right? But that is what's happening with the PPP. And when Jack Gale doesn't get his way, he goes into his hole. He goes right into his hole. And he hides for a couple of days. And then he comes out back again. He goes on his friends, as they say, the Dunstock Pro show and all these different things. And they try to redeem him. But he cannot be redeemed at all. When last you saw or heard from him, he gone right back into his hole. Here why he gone into his hole. He doesn't like that state visit by the Surinamese president. They call him the sheriff in Suriname, right? That state visit by him. He doesn't like that. They have serious, I want to repeat, and I want you guys to listen keenly. The PPP is in serious trouble, serious problems. The people who have assisted in installing them are against them. Most of them are against them. But you know what? And you know why they're not going to come out and say? Because they're ashamed. I am certain, almost certain, that the U.S. Ambassador Sarah Ann Lynch is ashamed of those vagabonds, those political buns in the PPP. But she doesn't want to say it. She can't say it. Others are ashamed of them because the people who have installed them are now getting to see what is say, their true colors of the PPP. They're seeing their true colors. Corruption rampant. I am sure the ambassador, U.S. ambassador, has received reports of corruption where officials, ministers of the regime are asking for bribes and all these things that people's hands have to be greased before they're connected to do business or they're placed in the correct agency to do business. And then when they reach to that correct agency, people in that correct agency, they call it Go Invest or whatever, are asking for money too. Bribes all over. Bribes. That is what's happening in that beautiful country. It's a shame and a disgrace. The PPP is in shambles. I'll get to the opposition just now. Y'all wait. APNU, AFC, I'll get to you guys just now. I got a long list of things for y'all. I'm not done. I'm in the mood for you guys tonight. All of you tonight. Right? It's one of those nights. I may go very, very long. I may go until 2 o'clock or whatever. Right? This is where we lay the facts out. The real facts. This is not where we come. This is not a show to come to talk about. No. We are talking about the people. For you. We are fighting for you. This is not a fight for ourselves on 107.1 FM. It's for you. We don't need to, big up ourselves here or whatever. We don't do that. Those things have their own people and their own shows, mind you. All right, so let me take a quick break. Our operator is signaling me to take a quick break because they want to whisper something in my ears. And I want to hear what they have to say because it might just be some good news for you as well. And to all our Indigenous / Amerindian brothers and sisters all across Guyana or wherever they are, and I have a heck of a lot in my family too, right? Happy Indigenous Month to all of you. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Guyana, and on this auspicious day, the managers and staff of 107.1 FM would like to extend to all Amerindians a happy Amerindian Heritage Month 2021. Amerindians reflect the lifestyle, beliefs, and way of life of people who are born in an Amerindian village. We here at 107.1 FM are part of the process of preserving the Amerindian heritage and to be the source of reference. Happy Amerindian Heritage Month 2021, Guyana.
Agata Marita. Okay, it's Amerindian Heritage Month. I remember the first time, you guys know my business is like it's out there. That's it. The first time that I drank Paiwari was when I was in Camp Street. First time. Somebody made it and pass it through the fence and push it down underneath the fence and pick it up. And then an officer passed. I say, hey, officer, pass the thing there for me. First time I drank Paiwari, man. I never drank it after that. First time I drank Paiwari. Can't remember how it tastes, but this is a good month. Maybe I'll ask somebody who is hopping up here to just get me some Paiwari. Happy Indigenous Month. Happy Amerindian or / Indigenous Month to all our Amerindian brothers and sisters, including some of my relatives who are watching this program. All right, what else can we talk about? I promise we just took that quick break. Hear what? This vaccine, the installed regime has got it wrong. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. They got it wrong. Here is why. A pregnant woman, and this is a true story, because that is what we hear, the truth. A pregnant woman is being forced to take the vaccine. Her manager has asked her or told her point blank that she has to take the vaccine. The woman says, look, I am not going to take the vaccine. I can't take the vaccine. I am pregnant. Look, I am pregnant. Look, I am pregnant. I can't take the vaccine. The manager said, and that person works for a state agency, a state company. That person was told to leave the job, go to her doctor, and have her doctor write a message, a letter to that company stating that she is pregnant and she cannot take the vaccine. You can see the woman pregnant. Something that is alien to a lot of those folks in the catfish regime. Getting people pregnant. But the woman is pregnant. You can see it. Chase the woman away. Sent her to her doctor. The woman went to her doctor. And the doctor said that he cannot give her a report. He cannot write that she is pregnant. And because of that, she doesn't want or she cannot take the vaccine or whatever. The doctor said he can't do that because he works for the government. Can you imagine that? The doctor has refused to say that this 7.5-month pregnant woman cannot take the vaccine, should be exempted. But no, she's heavily pregnant and they want to vaccinate her. I don't know what's happening. She's in tears. Hear why she doesn't want to come public. She's pregnant, for crying out loud. I don't know if she has other kids, but if she were to come on air right now, she ain't gonna get a job. And the job that she has doesn't pay a lot. I know, because she said to me where she works. That's the sad case. These people are not concerned about whether you're ill, whether you have all the sicknesses, whatever. They're not concerned about that. Because the more people they vaccinate is the more monies they can beg for. They can beg for. And the more money they get, the millions of dollars they're getting for COVID-19, they're wasting it. They're stealing it. That is what they're doing. They're not concerned about individuals who are COVID-19 positive or whatever. You guys should see the condition of the COVID-19 hospital. It is horrible, horrible. If you have loved ones there right now, go on your knees and pray for them to be out of that place. It is horrible. Short of staff, overcrowded. Soon they're going to have 2 COVID-19 patients on one bed, or maybe 3 COVID-19 patients on one bed. It is horrible. So when Frank Anthony, the Minister of Health, when they come out and they sit and they talk to the public, they are putting on makeup on what they have to say in order for it to sound good and look good. But at the end of the day, they're not telling you the truth. They are lying. They're covering things up because they want it to appear good. But the COVID-19 policy or program that they have is a total disaster. Some of them in the regime are importing drugs into Guyana, pharmaceutical drugs into Guyana. It is being passed by the local, the equivalent of the FDA there in Guyana. It is being passed by them. Those folks are forced to do their jobs, to sign off on pharmaceutical drugs that have been expired and all these things. That is what's going on. Millions of dollars they're making. They're fleecing the Guyanese people, including their own supporters. It is a sad case. And you ain't seen nothing yet. For this week, over 20-something persons have died already as a result of COVID-19. That is what they are reporting to you. But there are lots of other persons who have died, but they're not reporting that. They're playing with the numbers. They're covering up the numbers, the real numbers. The other day they said 9 persons died. Then the other day they said, what else? They said 8 persons died. Then today they're saying 4 persons died and so forth. I am telling you guys this. I know of a story where a brother, an Amerindian brother from Essequibo died of COVID-19. They placed on his death certificate that he died of diabetes or whatever, something, malaria. Malaria. He died of malaria. They had an open casket funeral for this guy 2 days ago or 3 days ago. They knew that he died of COVID-19. What do you think they have done to his family there? What do you think they have done to his friends there? You know why? I know that he died of COVID-19 because several of his friends got coronavirus. And they said that he died of coronavirus. And so the doctors themselves, some of the doctors do not know what they are saying. Some of the doctors do not know. Look, let me check some of your comments here. Let me address this individual here, because they will get some of them. Robin Suraj Bali, good evening to you. And I get your point. I'm not going to insult or attack you or no. You're welcome with your opinion. Here is what Robin Suraj Bali is saying here. Mark, the real numbers are those that are advised not to take the vaccine. Now, let me break this down for you, Mr. Suraj Bali. And good evening to you. Let me break this down to you, sir. You tell me who is being advised not to take the vaccine, even though your own minister, Dr. Frank Anthony, said, and we found out that 2 persons died as a result of COVID-19, even though they were fully vaccinated. They contracted COVID-19, the coronavirus. They went into the hospital to be treated for coronavirus. They cannot be treated because the doctors can't treat them. The doctor giving them all sorts of different things. But those things that they're giving them are not working, Mr. Robin Suraj Bali. They're not working. So those two elderly persons died as a result of the coronavirus. But your Minister of Health and those incompetent advisors that he has, 2 of them, I'm not going to insult the other gentleman, I think is, I can't recall his name, but Barry Ramsaran is incompetent. When last have you heard from him? He's quiet. He's just wasting recipient. Your other friend, Ramsamy, like catfish eat out his brains. Anything that comes out of his mouth is dotishness. But let's get back to Dr. Anthony, Dr. Frank Anthony. And this is for you, Mr. Robin Suraj Bali. I break it down for you. This is not to insult your intelligence, though, but I'll break it down for you. That those 2 else who contracted the coronavirus died as a result of the coronavirus, even though they were fully vaccinated, right? But what Dr. Frank Anthony wants us to believe is that they had other illnesses. They were sick, man. One of them probably had NARA. The other one probably had whatever. And they died because they had other illnesses. False. Lie. Robin Suraj Bali. Lie. Dr. Frank Anthony has strayed from the truth. All the years, those same people, I'm sure, they had the same illness or illnesses. They had the same. And they were alive. But they died right after they contracted the coronavirus. But you know what? Robin Suraj Bali, you know what? Dr. Frank Anthony was afraid to tell the people which vaccine the people took. They were fully vaccinated. Fully vaccinated. The other thing, before I take you down, Robin Suraj Bali, from the screen. I know of quite a few folks who have contracted the coronavirus. Some of them died, even though they took the first dose of vaccine, the Sputnik V. The first dose of vaccine. 1 dose they took. 1 dose. Mr. Suraj Bali, 1 dose they took. And they didn't live to get the second dose because your regime, the PPP regime, had some sort of backdoor deal with some guy, some calls himself a prince, out in Saudi Arabia or wherever, couldn't provide. The middleman couldn't provide on time the second dose of the Sputnik V vaccine. And so many people have died because your regime, the PPP installed regime, was negligent in ensuring that they provide the second dose of Sputnik V for those people. But, oh, they died. So let me get to this point that you're making now, Robin Suraj Bali. Mark, the real numbers are those that are advised not to take the vaccine. And now let me say this. Almost every one of these folks who are listening, some of them are against the vaccine. But let us talk about the politicians then. all of the politicians who came on this show, sir, all of them, those APNU AFC folks, they said to their support base, take the vaccine. I have been saying every single night, take the vaccine. It is your right to take the vaccine, Serge Valley. It is Miss Smart Felix, Desiree Smart Felix Wright, and all of you, Mark Doris, Lyndon Fraser, Rochelle Johnson, everyone. You also, Mr. Robin Serge Valley, you have that right to take the vaccine or not to take the vaccine. You have that right. You can say, me no want to take a vaccine. Or you can say, me go take come. Come, bore me. Give me I'm right here. You could say that, Robin. You can say that. It is your right. The vaccine doesn't prevent anyone from getting, contracting the coronavirus. It doesn't. What it does, it reduces the risk. And that is what your government should be saying, should be doing, hitting the streets with real PR. The other thing, Robin Serge Bali, I don't know where you live. I just don't know you, sir. But I'm still showing you the respect, right? Now, the other thing, if a vaccine is not approved by the World Health Organization, as in the case of the Sputnik V, it is not approved. Will you take it? Even though scores of people have taken it in Guyana, and scores of people have said that they don't want to take it. They don't know where it's coming from. It's coming from some middleman. They don't know if it is counterfeit. All of these things, Mr. Serge Bali. So don't come and try to play this reverse psychology game that the people who would have been alive or the real numbers are the people who have not taken the vaccine. Thank you so much, Mr. Serge Bali. Thank you. Thank you so much. I think I've made my point with you, but I appreciate that you came on with that point. All right. So what else we can talk about before I forget that I want to talk about the APNU AFC? We can left them for just now. What else? This guy. Let's get back to this guy. Where is he? Here he goes. This guy. The only thing that this guy, he talks, he rattles, and I've invited him to come on the show. Let him come on the show. We will sit and we will have a professional, a cordial discussion. I'm not going to bring him on this show to disrespect him and call him all sorts. No, we will have a professional discussion. That is how we do things here, right? It's okay, he can come. But guess what? I would put my head on the block almost that he's not going to come. But look, he is heading up to New York sometime in mid-September. Suddenly, he wants to meet with everybody. He wants to meet with some of the guys them out in Brooklyn. He wants to meet with some church people. He wants to meet with some community leaders. I'm talking about persons of African descent. He wants to meet and sit and talk. You know how I know? Because some of these very leaders, some of these very folks have asked straight up, what do I think about that meeting? And this is my response about Irfan Ali and his gang are begging to meet with persons from the African Guyanese community. Here is my response. Some of them feel that they can get him to change. Give me a break. Give me a break. If some of you want to go for a photo op, to shake his hands, take a photo, and whisper something, go ahead, do it. But don't do it in the name of African Guyanese. Don't do it. Don't do it. Here why. It is a photo opportunity for Irfan Ali. Irfan Ali is not concerned about the situation, the situation of African Guyanese. He's just not concerned about the situation of Guyanese, period. Whether his own supporters, they're just there to hustle. It is a quick hustle. That is what it's about. For friends and cronies. Look at who are getting the contracts, the road contracts, people who never build roads. His friends and all of them. Someone said that Guyana might become an Islamic state because of his friends and cronies getting all these contracts, hundreds of millions of dollars of contracts. Now, the person who said that, I shun that out because I don't believe that. Because he has his friends them, and if you look around, you look at who are the ones who are benefiting. Some of them are showing off with their fancy vehicles, their Ferrari, their Lamborghinis, and all these things, showing off with their big machine guns. Private citizens showing off with their machine guns, as though we are in Afghanistan or one of those countries where people walk around with the machine guns, as though it is just that's part of the Constitution, right? You're a private citizen and you're showing off with your machine guns and these sort of things. That is what Guyana turned to. That is exactly what Guyana is as a result of this installed regime. There's no way that I'm going to be part of a government or a head of state and have private citizens showing off with their guns on social media and all these different things. It is not going to happen. I'll take back all of their licenses. If you are going to be business people, and you are brandishing your weapons like that, well, then you don't need to be in business. You just don't need to be in business. But then again, I don't expect anything better from Irfan Ali and his crew. So those of you who are planning to meet with Irfan when he comes up here in the US, meet with him in your private capacity, and not on behalf of the people who are being persecuted in Guyana. Do not do it. However, I said to some of the individuals, if Irfan Ali was setting a different example in Guyana, instead of persecuting people and treating persons of African descent like third-class and fourth-class citizens in that very country that their ancestors built with their sweat and death. Oh yes, it was a swamp. So let's not run away from reality until Irfan Ali starts to show respect for persons of African descent in that country. And don't rush around the place going in predominantly, and I want Serge Valley to hear this, going in predominantly African communities. Predominantly African communities, right? Predominantly African communities. And guess what they're doing? Giving them 2 pieces of chicken. That is what they're about. 2 pieces of chicken. That's all they can do. So those of you who might be enticed to meet with Irfan Ali when he comes up to the United States of America. When he comes up to the United States of America, do not meet him in the name of at all. Do not meet him in the name of African Guyanese. Go on your own. Go privately, sneak out and meet him somewhere, but not in the name. Not in the name African Guyanese at all, because Irfan Ali and his crew are basically an insult to all Guyanese, including their own supporters. And that's a fact, right? And now let me, oh gosh, look at this guy, Singh Amjit. Singh Amit. Hear what Singh Amit is saying here. LOL, they're right to show a chicken than to show Benschop face. And look at Amit face. You guys take a look at Amit face. Singh Amit. We know it's a fake account. But look at Singh Amit's face. You know, like, you know, the kind of face that he has right now. Take a look at him. You know, when you drink Senapad, or not even Senapad, you know, when you're like constipated, he has a constipated face. And you know, when you're constipated, what kind of face is that, right? That's the look at him. He looks like he got a face that when God was sharing looks, he thought it was books. He asked for a hardcover. Look at this guy's face. Right? Look at his face. Look at his face. Like fried cockabelly fish. Them brown cockabelly that over fry them. Look at his face. He's talking about this handsome face. This sweet lips guy, Mark Benschop. Look at your face, singer. Go on Borg show whenever Rickford Borg is on. Go on Borg show. Borg abuse good. Borg knows how to abuse. I can abuse them. Go on Borg. Borg can tell you all kind of thing. You know, because y'all know Borg likes to abuse, right? Go and let Borg abuse you. Let Borg abuse you. Y'all know when Borg start abuse, it's like, oh gosh, Borg could abuse by. Borg can abuse, oh gosh, Borg can tell about all kind of thing. This, that, that. Oh gosh. When Borg put on tobacco, abuse them. Oh man. All right. All right. So here, a lot of funny folks are on the show tonight, I guess so. So we know the PPP is in shambles. We see a lot of the trench crappos popping out of the trenches now, right? They're getting vexed, the bumps raising, you know, the bumps raising, but them ain't gonna get vexed. Them ain't gonna get vexed, right? And speak out against those 6 vagabonds who have been charged, who have been charged with killing a pandit. Them ain't gonna speak out about that. Them ain't gonna say nothing about that. They're quiet about it, right? Those guys, those trench crappos, sitting in a rum shop. The pandit and his family, his daughters, and all of them live right opposite that rum shop. And them little look at them rum suckers, right? Look at them. Sit down there drinking up their rum, cussing up the man's wife, cussing up his daughters, threatening them. They want to rape the man's wife, they want to rape his daughter, they want this, they want that. Rum. Y'all talk about that. Talk about those things. Don't come here and waste your time and abuse out. Because that's all you can do, abuse out. Talk about who faced thing, and who faced that, and who that, and who. There's dotishness. Why you think y'all is going to trench Brujum right away? Because we don't have time to waste. Right, Precious Mineral? We don't have time for distractions. Right, Vanessa Hackett? We don't have time for those sort of things. We just don't. Beverly Campbell, that's right. Y'all get the salt. Because that's the only thing they know to discuss. Nothing edifying. Stanborn, good evening to you, all of you. I'm going to take some time out to recognize some of you, or all of you guys. Here, who now? Let me say, man. I've never seen him on the show before. Look like a new guy. Let's put him up. He ain't got no face, he ain't got no nothing. His name is Sean Paul. All right. Sean Paul is saying, let's talk about the indirect forcing of It is the direct forcing of vaccine. But Irfan Ali said that people are not being forced to take the vaccine. Then Frank Anthony says something different. Then Priya Manichan says something different. Then Jagdev says something different. Everybody saying their own thing. You don't know who is really running that country right now. Everybody is saying their own thing. They're going to run into some serious problems, very serious problems, because the people of Linden, the people in Linden are waiting for them. The people of Linden are waiting for them. I ain't going to say nothing else. Brenda, yes, Rickford that is Rickford's category. Abuse and cut down. Rickford put on a nice singlet, as we call it, and abuse them out and cuss them out. Fine. And y'all in here abusing and cussing from Rickford yet? The man seems to be good at that. All right, we're looking at the, it's 10 o'clock already. 10 o'clock. And Vanessa Hackett, and I ain't talk about the opposition yet. How many of you guys want me to talk about the opposition? It's 10 o'clock. Tell me if I should go or you guys want to hear about the opposition. I'm looking at some of your comments because I want to talk about the opposition. I don't know if I should talk about them tonight or we should just wait until Monday night, or we should just done the dance tonight and just talk about it tonight and done. You guys guide me. You guys tell me. Tell me what you guys want me to do. Just tell me, and I will do it. I'm looking at your comments. Talk about it tonight. Let me see. Mark Doris, you could tell. Let me see. Mark Doris said not tonight. You could tell he want to go fish up or somewhere and drink beer and Guinness. So, all right. Let me see. Myrtle said tonight. Mayanne Semple says tonight. Wendy Andrews said tonight. St. Romain said talk now. Let's talk tonight. Somebody say yes, finish the dance. Somebody else said talk the thing. Sean Paul stuck on vaccine body. But let me address Sean Paul. Where is Sean Paul now? Where our operator Lemon, can you put Sean Paul back? Because I want to address Sean Paul. Sean Paul gone back. I see Lisa Edwards. Talk about it tonight. Oh gosh, everybody wants to hear about it tonight. But Sean Paul is back with his vaccine thing. Vaccine. Sean Paul, what more do you want me to talk about vaccine, Sean Paul? What more? You tell me, Sean Paul, what more? All night me go sit down here and talk about vaccine, Sean Paul. All night everything is vaccine. We already done talk about the vaccine. Every night, weeks upon weeks, we talking about vaccine. But I'm looking at all these people saying, talk now. But one person, Mark Doris, doesn't want to talk tonight. Another person, he seems to have company now, Claire Marie. Not tonight, Mark. Well, she probably wants to go out with the girls and hang. Right? Let me see here. Sean Paul ain't coming back, but talk about vaccine. And he ain't get no picture, he ain't get nothing. Vaccine thing here. Here, Sean Paul. Let's talk about the plan for the All right, Sean Paul. We'll spare you tonight, man. We're not talking about vaccine now. I want to talk about the coalition. Stan says it's Labor Day weekend. Let's have a good time. Oh, shucks. I forgot that it's Labor Day weekend for truth. Let's hear what Mark Doris is saying. If he wants the vaccine, let him go and get all the we have some we have some very funny listeners, man, and I appreciate all of you. Forget about them trench crappers, them cusso they people. Oh gosh, man. Sometimes we shame. Renee Mackenzie Talbot said, Emma and myself have plans to. Gosh. Renee has plans. All right. Let's see what else. Miss Booker. Denise Booker. I say not tonight, Mark. Fire up tonight. Not tonight. All right. Let me see what else. Let me see. Donnie John. You see these names without photographs sometimes. I don't know. Granger said he's coming back to be the leader of the party. This person without any photograph, I know. Sherry Ramdayal. Oh gosh, Sherry, how are you doing? Sherry Ramdayal, how are you? Right? Hi, Sherry. Good to see you. Now, Lisa Edwards wants to talk about that tonight. You know, when Mr. Granger, when the news came out that leader of the PNCR said that he's going to take we don't know how long he's going to take. He needs a break. Some people were happy when they heard that, especially when they heard those who support Valda Lawrence. Somebody said James Bond threw a big party. James Bond was happy. He jumped on the mountaintop and they were sporting. I think they're still sporting. You know, he has some hangout spot. I think they're still sporting. If our operator can just zoom in to see what James Bond and his crew are doing right now when he heard that Mr. Granger has stepped aside for now to take a little break, and his friend Valda Lawrence is now the acting leader. Let's see what James Bond and his what's happening at James Bond Place right now.
I will play rough. I will play rough. I step on Chichi Man. Step on everything. We are down when I fall out every man. I'll step one Chichi Man. When you say you're a Chichi Man.
That's probably what's going on at James Bond Place, or maybe the critic is there drinking a set of free dancing like a gosh. Ooh. James Bond, good evening to you, man. Yeah, I've never seen a guy that everybody is his friend. The only person that James Bond didn't come out and probably say yet, I haven't heard him. He didn't say Roger Khan is his friend. I'm waiting for him to say that. I'm waiting for him. James Bond, good evening to you, man. But hey, y'all know what's happening there, right? You don't have to say much. Y'all know what's going on. I like true politicians. And now let's talk briefly about the coalition. 2 days ago, I saw the ministers of health, and I think she was also foreign affairs, former junior minister of health and former foreign affairs, and then the former minister of education. They have been sleeping for a very, very long time. And so they finally came out and they said something about the COVID-19, the coronavirus situation. And they said something. I can't remember exactly what they said, but they said something. But I'm glad that we actually got a chance to see them and to be reminded that they are the shadow ministers of education and health. And then we have all the crimes happening throughout the country every single day. We do have in the opposition, that is, They have a shadow minister of Home Affairs, a former magistrate by the name of Geeta Chandan Edmund, seems to be absent, missing in action every single other day or twice per week as minister or shadow minister of Home Affairs should be speaking about the crime situation. It's getting out of hand, out of control. Out of hand, out of control. But yet these relevant persons within the coalition, we don't see them. We hardly see them. We hardly hear from them. And then when you talk, they vex. And when some of them come and talk, they spend 2 hours at a press conference. Not even the President of the United States of America spends 2 hours at a press conference. Why do we have to tolerate? Do you guys think press people want to sit down 2 and 3 hours or 2.5 hours at a press conference? Get straight to your point. This is not a lecture at the auditorium of University of Guyana or wherever, or IFLAT University where you got to go to lecture and talk loud. Get straight to your point. We are here. Hello, good morning. And get straight to your point. And a couple of the MPs came to the US and they were all fired up. They're fired up. They're back in Guyana. I ain't hearing a word from them. But when they were in the US, they were fired up. Fired up. They jumped on the stage in Brooklyn and they said, "My people, hello, Brooklyn, are you hearing me? You guys hearing me? I want you guys to go to Linden and say, hello, are you hearing me in Linden? Go to Berbice and say, are you hearing me in Berbice? Go to Kwakwani, go to other places. Say, are you hearing me?" There are people, thousands of people who haven't received their COVID cash grants. Go to them, return to them, ask them where their pink slips are and gather all of them in your communities. Whether you're representing them in Region 6, Region 10, stuff from this catfish regime. Demand that the catfish regime go into those communities and address those individuals who were given their pink slip and they were never returned. They never got a cent that they were promised. Don't just jump on a stage in Brooklyn and say, hello, Brooklyn. Hello, are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? The people in Linden want to hear y'all, not the people in Brooklyn. The people in Berbice want to hear y'all, not the people in Brooklyn. The people in Bartica want to hear from y'all. Y'all back in Guyana, the same energy, the same vibes. Use that to represent the people there in Guyana. Now, I'm not saying that y'all don't need a break. Y'all need a break. And y'all got a break. Y'all traveled all the way here in the US to join a protest march. But most of y'all don't want to protest in Guyana. Going out once a week and protest has no effect, no impact on the catfish regime. Absolutely none. They don't have any. But then again, when the country was about to be shut down, somebody, I'm not going to call name, went and allegedly whispered to the people on the west coast of Berbice, y'all go home and sleep. Somebody allegedly did that. I don't want y'all to prove to me or the people of Guyana that y'all could jump on a stage in Brooklyn and be fired up. The people in Brooklyn didn't vote for y'all. Maybe some of them went home and voted. But the people in Brooklyn didn't vote for y'all to be fired up for the people in Brooklyn. Be fired up for the people who you're being paid to represent in Guyana. Y'all are receiving benefits to represent those people. Represent your constituency. Be fired up for them. You know how many of them are not getting, apart from the cash grant, they're not getting their flood grant or whatever it is. A lot of farmers are suffering. They're part of your support base, your constituency. Be fired up for them. Be fired up for them. Politics and representation of the people is not a show where some of you just click on a live on social media and feel that is representation of your people. Go into the communities. Don't be afraid of COVID-19. Those of you who came all the way to the United States to be part of a protest, to be part of a huge, the biggest rally. Y'all weren't afraid of COVID-19. But to go out in Guyana and protest, you hear all the frivolous excuses about COVID-19. Oh, we've got to be very careful. But y'all weren't careful in Brooklyn. Y'all weren't careful in Brooklyn. Y'all didn't care. You say, hey, I'm fired up. I'm fired up. I'm fired up. Now y'all back in Guyana. I want to hear y'all say it. Y'all not saying it. Y'all say, priority, priority, priority in the coalition. Every day they get vexed with me. I'm not concerned. I'm not bothered about whether y'all get vexed with me. This is nothing personal. Your people need representation. Representation doesn't come in the form of sticking in some social media inbox and chat groups or group chats or whatever and fighting for hours to see who is more intelligent than who, can abuse out more than who. Most of y'all, that's why y'all spend y'all time in those chat groups arguing, cussing, fighting each other, and your goddamn supporters are in need of help, in need of representation. Not helter-skelter. Do your work. Get out of your air-conditioned offices. People have elected you guys there to represent them, not to become research officers. There's only so much others can do. And a lot of people are doing what they can do to stand up against the atrocities, against the dictatorship there in Guyana. But you guys got to show that you can do your job right there in Guyana. It's not about talk. I'm putting you guys on warning, on notice. I'm not talking or skinning my teeth any longer with you guys. Represent your people. Represent your support base. People are dying. You know how many people are dying in the COVID-19 hospital? But y'all not focusing on that. Y'all not focusing on what is going on inside right now. All y'all focus on is good to remind. We know it is the APNU AFC that provided that. We know that. Happening inside the COVID-19 hospital right now with almost 40-something patients, where doctors and nurses got to skip around, jump around, turn around, where patients got to sleep with one eye open and hold on to their oxygen mask, because by the end of the day, the morning, the oxygen mask is gone to be used by another patient. Do you guys know what is happening in there? Come on. Come on. Leadership now of the coalition. The PPP is in shambles. The PPP is in serious trouble. You guys in the coalition, from the leadership standpoint, need to get your acts together. Get your act together if you want to defeat the PPP in the local government elections and at the next general and regional elections. Put your petty differences aside. Some of you stop cussing each other out in your chat group or group chat or whatever. Stop cussing each other out. It makes no sense. When you do that, you know who it's hurting? You guys are not hurting each other. You guys are hurting the people who support y'all. It is hurting the people in the communities who need help, because the energy that you guys spent and waste on cursing each other out, y'all could use that by visiting your supporters and fighting for them in their communities, in the streets, so that they're not going to be discriminated by this corrupt installed PPP regime. Get y'all act together. All of you, get y'all act together. I'm not done. I'm just not done with you guys. But you know what? I'm not skinning my teeth with you guys any longer. Y'all got to go out and work. And if you guys don't work, well, then I will be talking. I will be saying that you guys are sleeping. You lazy. Politics is not a part-time job where you get one job here and you get another job there and you're afraid to speak out. If you're afraid to speak out, well, then just give up your job as a member of parliament or whatever else. Just give it up if you're afraid to speak out. People need representatives who are not afraid to stand up and speak out and defend and represent the people. That is what politicians do for most part. Politics is not about being friends with everybody and to prove to the world that, yes, you are friends with this body or you're friends with this body and all these things. All these things. I recalled James Bond said that the only people who call him was Muhammad and his son. Whatever his son named, they're the only people who reached out to him. How could you say that, James Bond, when hundreds of people reached out to you when the PPP persecuted you, bro? How could you say that? You were on this show. I reached out to you. All of us reached out to you. All of us embraced you. How could you say that the only people who reached out to you were Muhammad and his son? How could you say that? Is that politics? Is that honest politics? Is that what politics become? I don't know. I'm out of here, man. It's not politics at all. It's just not. Maybe I'll be back tomorrow with a special program to talk about the PNC. And I'll invite some PNC members to talk about the PNC. It is not to pull them down or bring them down, but it's time that they get their act together. Once and for all, get your act together. Your people, your supporters are suffering. It has got to stop. This one day a week protest, it's not working. It doesn't work. That's not how you do a struggle. It is not how you do a struggle at all. Sometimes I just wish I was on the ground to show you guys how to confront the evildoers in high political office. This thing is not about something happens, you issue a press release upon press releases, or press statement, and all these sort of things. It doesn't work for dictatorship. It doesn't work. I'll be talking some more tomorrow. Same place, same time. You got to pray for the country, man. Pray for the country. I've got to go. I don't get emotional, but I'm pissed off with some of you guys in the coalition. You're not doing what is necessary to properly confront this regime. You're not doing it. Get your act together. Stop group chatting stuff and cussing out and abusing out each other. Who gonna quit who want this, who that, who cuss up, who this. I don't know. I'm sick and tired of it, man. I'm sick and tired of it. Have a great weekend, guys. Like I said, I may see you guys tomorrow evening, but I'll let you guys know. I'm sick and tired of it. Y'all better get fired up in Guyana. Bye-bye.
It's hard, it's hard, it's hard to be at peace with the ones who are so discard. It's hard, it's hard, it's hard. Them have a knife in your back and them smile it so God. Help me to deal with the ones them who say them love me when them really don't. Help me to deal with the fans them kill me flesh when the crowd a shout. Jesus, help me on the battlefield. Jesus, help me on the battlefield. Help me on the battlefield. God, the booby traps with them set is real. I never want to take your glory, Lord. Send your angels to encamp around about me and stand guard. To envy is so easy and to love it is so hard. Let me work for your glory and not for the award. Don't make me ever get caught up in the scream and the applause. And go talk about the blessing and not talk about the Lord. All these things are vanity. I need your reward. Let me be real. Don't put on no facade. Help me to deal with the ones them who said them love me when them really don't. Help me to deal with the fans them give me flesh when the crowd a shout. Jesus, help me on the battlefield. Jesus, help me on the battlefield. Help me on the battlefield. God, the booby traps with them set is real. Sticks and stones can break my bones and words can harm me. They can harm me. When the evil come against me, you'll protect me. You'll protect me.
Not really.
Yes.
Say bye-bye.
Bye.
It's hard, it's hard, it's hard to be at peace.
That little ditty we used to torment our teachers with when we were kids goes something like this. Onward, upward, Mary had a go. Day by day she tied it to a rope, till at length they got past the rope, and Miss Mary had to run behind it. We had a lot of fun.
This ain't a long time, this ain't a long time, this not a before time. This ain't a long time, this ain't a long time, this not a before time. This ain't a long time, this ain't a long time, this not a before time. Long time got them lang loji, now you got them bongolo. Long time got them lang loji, now you got them bongolo. This ain't a long time, this ain't a long time, this not a before time. This ain't a long time, this ain't a long time, this not a before time.